You want me to wait? You can skip as well. If everybody has it, you can skip as well. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, the creation of the fourth order, chapter 26. Okay. King Puranjan goes to the forest to hunt, verse number 10, 4.26.10. Shashan Varahan Mahishan Gavayan Ruru Shalayakan Medhyan Anyamscha Vividhan Vinignan Shramam Adyagat. Shashan Varahan Mahishan Gavayan Ruru Shalakayan. Gavayan Ruru Shalyakan Medhyan Anyamscha Vividhan Vinignan Shramam Adhyagat. Shashan Varahan Mahishan Gavayan Ruru Shalyakan Medhyan Anyamscha Vividhan Vinignan Shramam Adhyagat. Shanvaraha Mahishan Gavayan Ruru Shalyakan Medhyan Anyamscha Vividhan Vinignan Shramam Adhyagat. Shashan Varahan Mahishan Gavayan Ruru Shalyakan Medhyan Anyamscha Vividhan Vinignan Shramam Adhyagat. Shashan rabbits, Varahan boars, Mahishan buffalo, Gavyan bison, Ruru black deer, Shalyakan porcupine, Medhyan game animals, Anyan others, Cha and Vividhan various, Vinignan by killing, Shramam Adhyagat became very tired. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation. In this way, King Puranjan killed many animals, including rabbits, boars, buffalo, bison, black deer, porcupines, and other game animals. After killing and killing, the king became very tired. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. A person in the mode of ignorance commits many sinful activities. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami explains that a man becomes sinful out of ignorance only. The resultant effect of sinful life is suffering. Those who are not in knowledge, who commit violations of the standard laws, are subject to be punished under criminal laws. Similarly, the laws of nature are very stringent. If a child touches fire without knowing the effect, he must be burned, even though he is only a child. If a child violates the law of nature, there is no compassion. Only through ignorance does a person violate the laws of nature. And when he comes to knowledge, he does not commit any more sinful acts. The king became tired after killing so many animals. When a man comes in contact with a saintly person, he becomes aware of the stringent laws of nature and thus becomes a religious person. Irreligious persons are like animals, but in this Krishna consciousness movement, such persons can come to a sense of understanding things as they are and abandon the four principles of prohibited activities, namely illicit sex life, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. This is the beginning of religious life. Those who are so called religious and indulge in these four principles of prohibited activities are pseudo religionists. Religious life and sinful activity cannot parallel one another. If one is serious in accepting a religious life or the path of salvation, he must adhere to the four basic rules and regulations. However sinful a man may be, if he receives knowledge from the proper spiritual master and repents his past activities in his sinful life and stops them, he immediately becomes eligible to return home back to Godhead. This is made possible just by following the rules and regulations given by the Shastra and following the bona fide spiritual master. At present, the whole world is on the verge of retiring from a blind materialistic civilization, which may be likened to hunting animals in the forest. People should take advantage of this Krishna consciousness movement and leave their troublesome life of killing. It is said that the killers of animals should neither live nor die. If they live only to kill animals and enjoy women, life is not very prosperous. And as soon as the killer dies, he enters the cycle of birth and death in the lower species of life. That also is not desirable. The conclusion is that killers should retire from the killing business and take to this Krishna consciousness movement to make life perfect. A confused, frustrated man cannot get relief by committing suicide because suicide will simply lead him to take birth in the lower species of life or to remain a ghost, unable to attain a gross material body. Therefore, the perfect course is to retire altogether from sinful activities and take up Krishna consciousness. In this way, one can become completely perfect and go back home, back to Godhead. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is one famous verse known as Atmaram verse, which essentially mentions that, okay, it's okay, right? Even those who are Atmaram, self satisfied, liberated within themselves, no attachment to material people and objects. Even this Atmaram who don't need anything, who don't want anything, who don't depend on anything, get attracted to Krishna, who is all attractive. So when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas and eventually reached Jagannath Puri, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya hosted him in his house. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is Bhatta Acharya, is a very great personality and very big scholar. No scholar like him all over Bharatvarsh. And he's so great that he even gives sannyas to young sannyasis. He's like grandfather age of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is just 24 years age. So Sarum Bhattacharya told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that you have taken sannyas at very young age. It is easy to become weak in this age. And you are so handsome. The only way you can protect yourself that if you very deeply study Vedanta Sutra. So I will teach you Vedanta Sutra. And he wanted to convert Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from practicing Vaishnava principles to Mayavad principles. So for 28 days continuously, Sarom Bhattacharya spoke on Vedanta Sutra and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu silently listened. Finally, Sarom Bhattacharya asked, since 28 days I am speaking such a heavy philosophy to you, you don't ask questions. If you understand everything, at least you should uh, disclose it by shaking your head or some facial expressions. And if you don't understand, you should ask question, but you don't do both. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very sweetly replied that Vedanta Sutra I understand. It is clear sun. But your explanation is like a cloud covering the sun. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya got very shocked. He is the first class Acharya of Vedanta Sutra all over India. There is no scholar like him. And this is young sannyasi who is telling his explanations are useless. Then he said, then what is the better explanation? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained. And in his explanation, he quoted Atmaram verse. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya caught him. He said, okay, you explain this verse. It's a very difficult verse in Sanskrit. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you are such a senior scholar, you explain first. The Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, using his Sanskrit expertise, explained that verse in 7 different ways. One verse in 7 different ways. That proves he's a very big scholar. So he explained in 7 different ways very proudly, hoping that he will get very great appreciation and defeat Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya said, wow, you are like Brahaspati. Nobody can explain this verse into so many ways as you have done. There is no scholar like you all over India. At the same time, there is another explanation which I will share with you. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained the same difficult verse in 41 different ways. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, you are God. Eventually, he converted him to Vaishnavism. So quite later, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was discussing with Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami asked the question to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that, my dear Mahaprabhu, I heard you explained this verse, an Atmaram verse, in 41 different ways to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. I also want to hear those explanations. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I forgot what I told him. But still, if you want, I will explain you what I know. And he gave 61 different explanations. And in one of the explanation, he shared a story. That story is practical demonstration of this verse and purport which we read today. I just remembered. So rather than explaining this purport, I am going to share that story, which anyway will explain the purport. Okay? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shared the story of Mrigari, very popular story, that once Narad Muni, after taking bath in Triveni Sangam of Prayagraj, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, he was walking on the path of forest. As he was walking and chanting on the path, he saw a small deer, baby deer, crying, screaming in pain, trembling, half dead, legs broken, cannot run, arrow inside stomach, blood coming out in big pain. Just nearby, Narad Muni saw another boar, small baby boar, with arrow inside stomach, blood coming out, legs broken, twisted legs, crying in pain, screaming, half dead. Then he saw a small rabbit, arrow inside stomach, blood coming out, legs twisted, crying and screaming in pain, half dead. Seeing these three animals in pain, Narad Muni felt pain. This is compassion, para dukha dukhi. This is nature of a sadhu. When he sees others in pain, he feels pain. When he sees people are eating meat, slaughtering animals in millions, he feels pain. That is the nature of a devotee. If somebody is hungry, we should feel the pain of that hunger and share prasad. Somebody is in distress, we should feel that distress and offer some consoling words. Spend some time, give a lending hand, offer our shoulder to cry. That is para dukha dukhi. And at the same time, we should know people are suffering because they have done papa, and they have done papa because they are in ignorance, ajnani. And the only way to relieve their suffering is to give them gyan, tell them Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This knowledge will liberate them. A hungry person just giving food is not sufficient. We have to give them knowledge that you stop doing sinful activities, otherwise you keep becoming hungry. So Narad Muni felt pain. So he left the main path of the jungle and he went inside the dense forest. There was a big tree, and behind the tree was a hunter, like a Yamduta, with bow and arrow hiding. And there were small animals, and he was aiming and killing them. When Narad Muni arrived on the scene, all the small animals ran away, seeing Narad Muni. So the hunter got disturbed and agitated that who is this person coming in the forest? Because of him, all my targets fled away, all my clients fled away. So with great anger, he came out from his hiding place to scold Narad Muni that why have you come here and disturbed my business? But when he saw Narad Muni, such a pure brahmachari, wearing saffron dhoti and cloth and shaved head and shikha and tilak and kanthi and flower garland and bead bag and veena and so much effulgence coming from his face, so calm personality, he didn't feel like scolding. That is how our heart becomes calm when we come in contact with pure Vaishnavas and when we especially come in front of Radha Giridhari. Our heart becomes calm. Just like in few days, we will have Purnima, Gaur Purnima day. And on that day and any other day of Purnima, we have experienced the full moon in the sky. And when you stand under the open sky during full moon night, you feel very sheetal, very cooling. Have you experienced? Right, everybody. The full moon is very cooling. Imagine millions of full moons come together in the sky. How cooling it will be. That cooling happens when you see the face of Kridhari. So beautiful, so cooling, all the miseries and the burning experiences of the heart in the day or in our life go away just by coming in Mangalarti, just by taking darshan of Krishna, just by chanting Hare Krishna, just by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, just by dancing in Guru Puja, or just by attending any program in the temple or meeting Vaishnavas, pure devotees. So the hunter didn't scold, he didn't raise his volume, but he was still disturbed. So he spoke to Narad Muni. He said, "Oh, Sadhu Baba, why have you come here? I think you have come here by mistake. The main road is that side. You came by mistake here. Look, because of you, all my animals ran away." Narad Muni very politely replied, "Look, my dear sir, I know the main road is that way. I did not come here by mistake. I came here by my choice because I have a question. Now, if you have a question, where you should go? Library or to a teacher or a scholar or google.com. Narad Muni going to a dense jungle. He said, question? What is your question? Narad Muni said, on the main road, I saw a half dead deer with arrow inside his body, legs twisted, crying in pain. And similarly, I saw a small boar and a small rabbit, both half dead, crying in pain, arrows inside body, legs broken. My question is, who did this? Because he thought somebody has to come to give him Nobel Prize. He's happy with what I did. Said, oh, I did this. This is my visiting card. My name is Mrigari. And since childhood, my father taught me how to kill animals and break their legs. I did this. Narayana said, look, can I ask you something? He said, sure, I will give you whatever you want. You want rabbit flesh, you want goat flesh, you want deer skin, you want tiger skin, I will give you. So the hunter, Mrigari, he is interested in flesh and skin. So he thought Narad Muni is also interested in flesh and skin, which is not true. This is how everybody in the world thinks that what I am interested, this person must also be interested. We think ourselves as center of the world. And what I like, everybody likes. What I don't like, nobody likes. So my idea is best idea. Mrigari said, I'll offer you any flesh and any skin you want. Narama said, no, no, I don't want your flesh and skin. I just want one thing, that you are killing animals half and twisting their legs so they don't run. And after 6, 8 hours, they scream and gradually die. Don't do that. Just kill them full. Don't kill them half. One shot, let them die. Mrigari got surprised. He said, why? If I kill them full one shot, there is no entertainment. But when I kill them half, arrow inside stomach, blood coming out, I break their legs so they don't run. So they scream and they tremble and they shiver. And after 6 to 8 hours, they die. I feel so nice. So Mrigari was a sadistic person who was enjoying others' pain. who was happy, who was getting manoranjan, entertainment by seeing others in pain. There are people like that in this world who enjoy by torturing others, by harassing others, by insulting others. Sadistic people. Para dukha sukhi. Happy when others are in distress. Sometimes small children play with small snakes or cockroach or lizard, and we think that's okay, game they are playing. No, they are enjoying the pain of small animals, and that psychology they will grow up and they will enjoy the pain of others and they will torture their own family members and enjoy. So it is not good game to do violence and enjoy. So Mrigari said, what are you saying? There is no fun if I kill them in one shot. Narad Muni said, look, if you kill them in one shot, you incur sinful reaction. But if you kill them half and they gradually die, they have more pain. Because of that, you incur more sinful reaction, more papa, and you are punished. This is very important lesson that anybody who kills an animal is sinful. Anybody who gives pains to others is also sinful. So we should not give pain to others. We should not hurt hearts with our speech or our actions or any physical violence. We should not give pain to others. In our family, in our relationships, we should make sure peace is never cut into pieces. Peace should be maintained. So Mrigari said, Pap, sin, what is sin? Mrigari is such an uncivilized person, uneducated person, he doesn't know sin. Is it easy to preach to such a person, such a typical uncivilized fellow? And Narad Muni is preaching to such a person, is such a pure sadhu, pure brahmachari. So Narad Muni explained him what is sin and what is hell. And if you perform sinful activity, you are punished in hell. If you kill an animal, you are suffering in the hell for as many years. There are hairs on the body of the animal, billions of years. And the animal will kill you next life. So Mrigari got trembling when he heard this information. He said, is it really true that I will suffer in hell for all the animals I have killed? And that the animals will kill me one by one in eventual lives? Narad Muni said, yes. Brigari started counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 1,000, 10,000. I have killed thousands of animals just for fun in my life from childhood. Does it mean for thousands of births they will hunt me and kill me and torture me? Narad Muni said, yes. Vigari went on the feet of Narad Muni. He said, I don't want to be tortured. I don't want to be hunted. I don't want to be killed. I don't want to go to hellish planet. Sadhu Baba, please, please tell me some way to come out of it. Narad Muni said, look, I know one way to come out of this, but you will have to obey me. He said, yes, I will obey you. What to do? Narad Muni said, step one, break your bow and arrow and throw it in the river, because this is source of sinful activity. Mrigari said, if I break my bow and arrow and throw it in the river, how will I eat? This is the only occupation I know. I am not MBA, I am not MBBS, I am not BS, Batch BE. I can't do be engineering, doctor, lawyer, manager. I know only shooting arrows. If I don't perform my occupation, how will I eat? Narad said, don't worry, I will send you food. And he had faith on Narad Muni. He broke his bow and arrow and threw. So we may be sinful, but if we want to stop sinful activity, we have to obey the spiritual master, we have to obey the sadhu, and we have to obey the shastras. We have to stop doing sinful activities. And how Narad Muni was confident that if he breaks his bow and arrow, he will get food. Because Narad Muni knows, and we should know that these two concepts are different: source of income and source of maintenance. Each individual in the society has different source of income. Somebody's source of income is job, somebody's source of income is business, somebody's source of income is working in the factory, somebody's source of income is real estate investment, somebody's source of income is driving taxi, somebody's a doctor, somebody's a lawyer, somebody's a salesman, somebody's a beggar, somebody's thief, somebody does dancing, somebody does teaching. All individuals have different source of income. But all of us have one common source of maintenance. That's Radha Giridhari, Krishna. Our income does not maintain us. Krishna maintains us. We should know this. If anybody thinks that his income maintains him, then today in breakfast he should eat his income. He should take $50 and eat because that is his income. Income doesn't maintain us. What maintains us is grains, fruits, milk, vegetables, and that is not produced in any factory. It's produced from earth when it rains. And that production and that rain is given by Krishna. It's not in the hands of a man. It is not a factory product. Whatever we need to maintain us is obtained from earth. Whatever we don't need comes from factories. Like a child in the womb, 9 months, such a small baby, not a single object is required to maintain, everything taken care. But as soon as the child comes outside, baby soap, baby powder, baby shampoo, baby towel, baby oil, oh God, the list doesn't end. And after doing shopping for the baby whole day, you come home and you remember few items are missing. Tomorrow I have to go again. In the womb, everything taken care. But this market for baby products has so much unwanted stuff. So Krishna takes care. It is our government who has printed currency notes or thinking to be an easy exchange to purchase food. That's why we need these currency notes. The dependence on the note is because it's an exchange and has a purchasing power. If today the government declares the note has zero value, tomorrow what will we do with that note? Eat? No. But if you have rice in your house and government declares today night rice has zero value, tomorrow still you can eat. So the note in our pocket has a value in somebody else's control. That is not real money. So each and when the child is born, the milk is ready. Who makes the milk ready? The father purchases it or the doctor injects it? No. Krishna has made mother's body in such a way as soon as the baby is delivered, the blood becomes milk. And for any other lady, however age she is in, the blood will never become milk unless she delivers a baby. That means the milk has come for the baby. What an arrangement Krishna has made. So our food is ready when we were born. So will not Krishna feed us little rice and roti when we are grown up? He is feeding us. Animals They don't do job, they don't go to school and university, they don't pass an interview, they don't travel in traffic, and they eat 3 times a day. They don't even have a go down or a fridge. Elephant eats 50 kg time per day, per meal, and it gets 3 times. We eat little bit, we will not get. Animals also have food problem. Humans also have food problem. How humans have solved the food problem? Go to school, go to university, get degree, apply for interview, get job, travel, work, get salary, go to grocery store, purchase food, cook, eat. How dogs have solved food problem? Just wag your tail, fetch a ball, eat. Dogs are more intelligent. They just fetch a ball and they get food. We have to do so many things and still struggle. So Krishna feeds everybody. It is our mistake that we have stopped depending on Krishna. When uh, sometimes there are small pests in the house, cockroach, lizards. Who feeds them? They are in our house. We don't cook for them, but they manage. But the humans of that house have difficulty to manage. Who feeds them? Krishna. If anybody is thinking, no, no, some food particles fall from my kitchen, that's why that lizard and cockroaches are eating. Just empty all your food containers, clean the kitchen, close your house, lock it for 5 years. When you come back, all should die, they will multiply. That means they don't depend on our food. So source of income is different from source of maintenance. So of course in Varnashram we have to work as a contribution to the society, whatever our occupation is. But should be very clear, our income is not maintaining us. Krishna is maintaining us. Even that income is given by Krishna. It is not because of my hard work that I am eating. It is Krishna's mercy that I am eating. The source of income is different from source of maintenance. Narad Muni is clear about it. So he told Mrigari, don't worry, I will send food. Mrigari broke his bow and arrow. Again went on the feet of Narad Muni. What next I should do? Narad Muni said, whatever you have earned till now is sourced by sinful activity, by hunting. So you should not eat sinful income. So you go home, your grains, your jewelry, your utensils, your clothes, your furniture, your home, all your possessions, you give charity to sadhus. They will use it in Krishna's service. And you in one dhoti, your wife in one sari, both go to the forest. Make a small hut out of leaves and branches of the tree. Invite Tulsi Maharani and whole day in front of Tulsi Maharani sit and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bigari agreed. They came back to the main road. The deer, the boar, and the rabbit were already died. Narad Muni made them alive. Bigari was surprised. Narad Muni went ahead. And Mrigari went to his village. He went to his house. He gave everything in charity. In one dhoti and wife, one sari, they came to the forest, made a hut, welcomed Tulsi Maharani and started chanting the holy name. And people all around the villages, they came to know the hunter has become a sannyasi. They all came to meet him. And nobody goes to a saintly person empty hand. They make an offering. So somebody will bring milk, somebody will bring mango, somebody will bring fruits, rice, something like that. Brigari will welcome them. He will just accept food for two people, he and his wife. He will not accept extra. Rest he will distribute among those who came. And they would chant together. Like this 1 year passed. Narad Muni with Parvat Muni came again after 1 year to the forest to meet Mrigari. Follow-up is required once a year. Megari saw from far Narad Muni, his guru has come. He was so happy, he was excited, he ran to meet him. And it is etiquette that when guru comes, one should pay obeisances. Dandavat pranam, fall flat on the ground, touch your head on the ground. Megari did not do that. He wanted to do, but he saw ants. And he understood that if I pay obeisances, the ants will get harmed by my body weight. So he removed his upper cloth, very softly kept all the ants aside from the path, and then paid obeisance. So that Mrigari, who was a violent hunter, who was enjoying the fun of seeing the pain of half-killed animals, who was breaking their legs so they don't walk and they twist and pain, became such a non-violent sadhu. He didn't wanted to trouble even an ant. Such a big transformation happened when he chanted the holy name under the guidance of a pure devotee. That's what Prabhupada is teaching here. That people are having sinful activities, but when they come in contact with ISKCON and ISKCON devotees, they will become Vaishnavas. So they should stop doing sinful activities. That is four regulatory principles: no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. And they should chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra in association of devotees under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. By these two things, one becomes a pure soul. Religious life means abandoning sinful activities, but those who want to continue sinful activities and still claim to be religious or spiritual, they are pretenders, mithyacharis, false behavior, pakhand, hypocrites. They never get mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Patita Pavan. He is blessing the Patita, the fallen people, not Kapata Pavan. He doesn't blesses the Kapatis, the pretenders, the people who have inside not equal to outside, who claim to be sadhu, but inside they are sinful, looking for money and woman, or name and fame and prestige and position and obeisances and garlands and envelopes and food and paneer and halwa, some sense gratification or disciples or followers or likes on YouTube channel. When we are looking forward to receive something material but claiming to be pure, that is duplicity. Pure devotional service is just serving Krishna, just happily chanting the holy name and hearing and speaking Srimad Bhagavatam and glories of Krishna whole day, nothing else to be done. That is love for Krishna, not hypocrisy. Using Krishna consciousness to come in contact with sense objects, using Krishna consciousness, leading kirtan and speaking from Vyasasan to get money, to earn money and maintain one's householder life, or to earn followers and disciples and maintain one position, power, and reputation, or any material thing like that. Leading kirtan to get followers and attract people that I am a good singer in the community, or giving a class to prove that I am a scholar and I am a good speaker and become my follower, and any kind of devotional activity we do for material benefit, that is not ISKCON. ISKCON is made for pure devotional service. So, with purity, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came to give us pure devotional service. Srila Prabhupada, who came to give us pure devotional service, who established ISKCON for pure devotional service, to dedicate everything in the service of Krishna. So Megari was a changed person from violent hunter to a non-violent sadhu by chanting Hare Krishna. And Parvat Muni was very happy to see this. Narad Muni said, it is not wonderful. Any person who chants Hare Krishna, he gets all the good qualities automatically. Then Megari invited them to his kutia and offered them, washed their feet and chanted in ecstasy and danced And at the end, Narad Muni asked him question after the kirtan, how is your life going? Megari said, everything is okay. You send so many people, they give me so much food. Megari is thinking Narad Muni is sending all these people with food. But Narad Muni is not sending any food. Narad Muni doesn't have a restaurant or a catering department or a kitchen to send him food. Who is sending? Lord Krishna. So Megari said, I have a request. Narad Muni said, what is it? He said, don't send so much food. Send for two people. Every day I have to do food for life. So 1 year before, Megari was worrying from where will he get food. Now he's worried, what will I do with so much? He said, just send for two people. Narad Muni was very happy. He said, yes, devotee should not be greedy. A devotee should not be greedy. Whatever is obtained, he should be satisfied. And he blessed him and he went. And Parvat told Narad Muni, you are Paras Mani, touchstone. What is Paras Mani, touchstone? When touchstone touches iron, iron becomes gold. So Narad Muni is Paras Mani. He touched Megadi, the hunter, and he became a non-violent sadhu. And Srila Prabhupada is that Paras Mani who came in contact with so many hippies and made them happy. And so many people who are sinful and they are becoming pure Vaishnava. And ISKCON is that Paras Mani, and ISKCON devotees are that Paras Mani who go on Harinam and book distribution and Prasadam distribution and preaching programs and outreach programs, and people are becoming devotees. There are millions of devotees today in all over the world who have no background of Krishna consciousness. Even they are practicing Krishna consciousness. That is Prabhupada's mercy. And this should continue, this should expand, and we should have more and more devotees in the city and in the country and in the world. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted. Every street and every road, Chaitanya wanted his name to be recited, Harinam to be done. So this is the only way sinful people can be saved. Otherwise, they will continue to perform sins, and when they die, they will suffer in hellish conditions. And whatever animals they have killed, those animals will kill them. And this is how the cycle will continue. So Krishna consciousness is the only way to save everybody. And however sinful we are, if we stop doing sin and start chanting Hare Krishna till the we die, in whole life, we can go back, home, back to God. Holy name is so powerful. So we should continue to seriously practice bhakti. Okay, we'll end here. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Any comments or questions? May please ask. Yes, Prabhu.
Sometimes uh, sometimes in that they gain significant injury and they get injured in such a way that they don't. So in that situation, we take them outside. We just leave them like that. And because they're in a state where now they're suffering. You see that they're injured. Can't be helped.
So, yeah. So the question is that sometimes when we are taking the insects out of the house, they get injured, some limbs are broken, and they are suffering a lot. Back is broken, suffering a lot by mistake. So when we are taking them out, what should we do? We just leave them suffering or kill them? So well, the first thing is not to come across such a situation. We should keep our house so clean that because pests get attracted for food. So after eating at night, we should clean our kitchen, wash our utensils, clean the dining table. If some food particles are around, we should clean so that they don't get attracted. So there is no violence in the house. Otherwise, if they get attracted, eventually we'll end up killing them. because it is sinful to kill them. Second option is we repel them. We repel them. The last option is pest control. That is not a license. It is still sinful. Even when you are trying to take them outside without killing and they are injured by mistake, still you incur a sinful reaction. But if you, injured insect suffering, if you further kill, you get further sinful reaction. We should not kill them. We should leave them. Leave them. But still we will incur sinful reaction. So every day when we offer boga to Krishna in the house and have prasadam, that takes care of unintentional violence which we perform. Even when we drive car, we may kill some insects. When we take a heavy object and keep it on some surface, we may kill some microbes and germs. When we boil water, we may kill microbes and germs. So violence anyway happens. We should reduce it from our side. That's why chanting and offering to Krishna helps us to clear all this sinful reaction. But that is not a license. We should be minimizing it. Okay. So cleanliness is very important. Okay. Any other questions? Yes. Hare Krishna. Okay, I didn't gather the whole thing. You're saying sometimes there's a negative thought in the mind about somebody, and what do we do? So, in Kali Yuga, one good quality is that if we are thinking negatively, we don't get punishment of it. In previous Yuga, if you are thinking negatively, you get punishment of it. At the same time, it is not good to continue because eventually we may act on it and it disturbs. So we are not stones. If we are hurt by somebody, that thought will continue. So better to give forgiveness and close it. Or if we have hurt somebody, better to ask forgiveness and close it. We don't wait for them to say sorry and then forgive and suffer till that. It is like somebody gives a burning coal in my hand by, and it's his mistake, not my mistake. He gave. And I'll say, I will not throw it unless he says sorry because it is his mistake. Right? His mistake. He gave. But he's not saying sorry. Still that I should keep the burning coal in my hand and burn my hand. I should throw it. So somebody insulted me, hurt me, not saying sorry. Should I keep it with me and keep hurting? No, I should just leave it away, forgive the person. And the best way to do that is be busy with Krishna. When you are so busy with Krishna, you don't have opportunity to think of all this. We tolerate and we understand it's a human nature. These things will keep happening, and we realize that the person is not to be blamed. The pain I am receiving is because of my previous karma. The person just became an instrument of my pain because the time I was supposed to receive pain, the person was around. For example, at 2 p.m. today, I am supposed to receive pain. If I am on the road, a car will hit me. If I am in the washroom, my leg will slip on a wet floor. If I am with some devotee, he may insult me. So I may blame the car driver or the person who spilled water on the wet floor or the devotee who is with me. No. The pain is not because of car driver or water or devotee. The pain is because of 2 p.m. When 2 p.m. happened, whoever is around me become instrument of my pain. Even if a pure devotee is around me, that pure devotee will become instrument of my pain. If I am in the altar, Lord will become instrument of my pain. So nobody is to be blamed. It is 2 p.m. It's my pain because my karma has fructified now. And generally, whom we are with? Family. Generally, we are with family, so they become instrument of pain. So we think my family not so nice, my husband and wife not so nice, neighbor's wife is so nice, she never gives me pain. Are you go and stay there at 2 p.m. She will become instrument of your pain. It is not husband, wife, children, parent. It is 2 p.m. It is the time. Whoever is around you become an instrument of your pain. So we don't blame them. We tolerate it. We forgive them. And we thank Krishna. My dear Lord, Giridhari, thank you very much. I was to supposed to get a bigger pain at 2 p.m. You gave me a smaller one. My leg was to be broken. You broke my shoes. Thank you very much. And purchase a new shoe and end the matter. Repair, whatever. So we tolerate. When we tolerate, we grow. When you cut a branch of a tree, what happens? The tree tolerates. But at the same time, a new branch grows. So tolerance should give growth. But of course, if there is a relationship of abuse and violence, which is not giving growth, that doesn't have to be tolerated. We have to protect our spiritual growth. The main goal is not tolerance, main goal is growth. But minor things we should not keep grudge. We should take responsibility of our pain. That I am responsible for my pain. Nobody is to be blamed. When I take responsibility, it's easy to tolerate. When I blame others, it's difficult to tolerate. If a boy is playing with a ball in the house and during play he breaks a very costly piece of furniture, what will mother do? She will be angry and upset and scold and punish. How many times I told you, play outside, look, you broke. Now keep quiet, take the ball away. Right? Next day, mother is cleaning and she breaks a similar piece of furniture. What will she do? Nothing, quietly clean it up. She will not scold herself, she will not punish herself, she will not chastise herself. So if somebody else is responsible for the loss, we get angry, difficult to tolerate. If I am responsible for the loss, easy to tolerate because we don't punish ourselves. So any pain comes, we should know it has come because of my karma previous life. I am responsible. This person is not responsible. So I don't blame others. I just understand I am responsible. It's easy to tolerate. And we be happy that one karma is gone, minus one. Every day, few minus one till I die. If everything is zero, I go back. Come back to Godhead, right? So people around us become instrument of our pain, but it's our responsibility. So we just forget. Okay? Hare Krishna. Yeah, can you read it?
We want to from bottom of their heart and not others would let me class.
If we want to serve a devotee from the bottom of our heart and not,
But we don't want others
and we don't want others to serve that person.
Mhm.
That is selfishness. That is not Krishna consciousness. That others also should get benefit of devotional service. We want to serve, that is very nice. We should be very eager to serve. But others should not serve, that doesn't make sense. Especially we're talking about Guru and Sadhu.
Mm.
So no, these those who are in renounced order, they are public property. They are not private property. So somebody is trying to own the service because of whatever relationship or obligation. A sadhu should never get obligated by somebody. Just because somebody sponsored my ticket, so he is my owner of my schedule. The sadhu should never come into this situation. So a sadhu should eat little in every house. That's called madhukari. Not depend on one house on multiple days or depend on one individual for this thing. Sadhu should have less dependence, less expenses anyway. And a devotee who is serving, he should understand that Krishna is public property. Everybody should get opportunity to serve. That is a very meaning of Ras Leela, where Radharani can enjoy dancing with Krishna alone, but she invites all the gopis that everybody should get benefit. In fact, Radharani says that if Krishna likes a gopi, but that gopi is doing nakra, what you call nakra in English, making it difficult for Krishna to get her association. I don't know. Nakra. So Radharani says, I will go to that young gopi's house and every day clean her house, wash her utensils, clean her goshala, cook for her, wash her laundry. Every day I'll do for many, many months. And every month the gopi will say, ask some remuneration, ask some salary. And I'll say, no, I don't want anything. And one day she will be so pleased with me, she will say, my dear Sakhi, every day you are coming to my house and doing freely menial service of cleaning my house, washing my laundry, taking care of the cows, cooking, washing utensils. I want to give something to you. Please ask. Then I will say, please, please go and meet Krishna. He wants to associate with you. Generally, a girl loves the boy, she is jealous. No other girl should come in contact with that boy. Radharani is not like that. He is so compassionate that everybody should serve Krishna. In fact, I'll give my ornaments and my jewelry and my makeup and my clothes to that gopi so that she looks more beautiful and Krishna enjoys her. So that is the mood of a devotee. So it is good attitude to serve devotee and it's not good attitude that only I should serve. And so if we are talking about sadhus, then they, as I said, they are not private property and it is not good to be attached to service of a sadhu in this way. We should be attached with Krishna in the center. International Society for Krishna Consciousness, not Prabhuji consciousness. The Prabhu is not the center of life. The Prabhu is not, a preacher should not become hero in somebody's life. A preacher should not develop a relationship of dependence in such a way that out of love and affection, devotees think of Prabhu more and Krishna less. That is Prabhuji consciousness. We should not preach in a way that I am hero in your life. Don't worry, if you have a problem, call me night 2 o'clock, everything will be okay. No, we should tell them, depend on Krishna. Don't worry, Krishna will take care of you. We should not replace Krishna's position in somebody's life by ourselves. So Krishna is hero in everybody's life, and we should preach and connect people to Krishna. So a preacher should be careful with that. Yes. No, it is okay. Main thing while chanting is not to think of Krishna. Main thing while chanting is to hear the holy name. So thinking of Krishna may come. We don't have to invite the thought. If it comes, we don't have to push away the thought. We have nothing to do with the thought. We have to hear. Like I am speaking now, you are hearing. You don't have to think something. Similarly, when you chant, you hear. The main thing is attentive chanting. Krishna is already present as sound. Now we have to receive him through our ears. So we don't have to additionally think of something, whoever it may be, or any leela. No, we just have to chant and hear. Chant and hear. The sound is coming, now I have to capture the sound. My mind should be fixed with between tongue and ear. My mind should be 100% on the sound. That is attentive chanting. Right? So whatever helps us in attentive chanting, we do. I'm not saying Prabhuji consciousness means there is no Prabhuji in our life. There is a contribution, but it should not be center. Krishna should be center. And Prabhupada is founder Acharya of ISKCON. By his instructions only we chant. So we receive his blessings to encourage us in chanting. That's very nice. Or the spiritual master. For while chanting, it is essential we practice to hear the Holy. Okay? Hare Krishna. Okay, we end here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.